Hello guys, welcome back to a Blueprints, episode number 22. Meanwhile, let's see what the notes say. We always have a little note or writing down at the end of the episode what we're doing the next one basically. And the last time we wrote down drafting studio, school, library, angels. Right, drafting studio, we still need 1 or 2 rooms that we need to add. We also maybe want to do school, class houses, classroom thing. Library, we are still reading books. And we have the order of the angels, which probably can be found in some of the books. So we need to put that together. So that's the plan for today. Outside room, not really required. We also need more information about the black key. Well, we know where the black key is. We just don't know how we can reveal it, because more than likely has something to do with that castle word downstairs. We have found some of those letters, but not all of them yet. So we can't really open whatever it is that opens with the black key. We start with 70 steps, so nothing special happened last time by the looks of it. Drafting studio, school, library, that's all blue houses. So we will run blue today. Gives us the highest chance of getting the drafting studio. We ran a bit of shops the other day because we needed, what was it? Can't even remember. 40 allowance we meanwhile have, because we're finding more and more of these Mora Jade boxes. Right. Okay, we're not gonna draft an outside room. Could be useful to have the tomb in case we find our information about these angels. We're close, we're very close. We have 5 of the 8 names already. Let's do the pantry, then we at least have an exit. Like that apple. Beginning of the day, you should actually not eat that. And that is, for instance, when you have an experiment where you can like eat, when you eat an apple, do this or that. You should leave those apples. We do want to go to left. Yeah, let's do an experiment. There's also a trunk. We of course do not have a sledgehammer to open it. Nor do we have a key to potentially open it, but... Okay, let's see. What can we do? When you draft a hallway from another hallway. Whenever you draft a shop room, or while drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan. This is actually not such a bad one, considering we duplicated our drawing room in the Chamber of Mirrors. We actually have 2 drawing rooms in our floor plans, which means that we could potentially get 4 of these. Spread dirt on the driveway. Yeah, that's all fine if we get a shovel, but if not, it's just laying there for no reason. Permanently add 1 gold to your allowance. Could be handy. We still have to buy a few things from the Mount Holly gift shop. And also we need to buy out the whole showroom at some point for a trophy. So we definitely need more and more coins over time. Let's do that. Drawing room, that's 2 rooms that we can draw from there, and we have 2 of those, so that's potentially 4. Potentially 4. And we are running a blue day, so we should see the drawing room come by. Is there anything else we need? Not immediately. We checked the mails here, didn't we? We have activated the mails in the admin computer in the grotto. So every of the computers now has a mailbox. We checked the shelter and the security. I think we also did this one though. Yeah, this is about like if you put the furnace close to the freezer and all that stuff. Yeah. No, so it is just the office that we need to check. We already had some mails in the office, but it's possible that now that we have connected and re-established the mails in the other computers, it's possible that also the office has new computer mails. Security. There goes our last gem, I guess. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We will find some rooms with gems. No items. Do we need to look at the footage there? No, we don't need the second password for anything. I think we sort of have the purpose of that one, right? Because on one of the cutscenes, our great uncle walks into the entry hall with a vase. We smashed the vases. There was a microchip in it. On the other cutscene, we have our mother showing us a route, which we then in the safe house we found the metro station plan, and that basically that's what she showed us. And we have written down that the route that they took, don't know what it is. It was something like 87113 10113, something like that. We don't know what that means yet, but we have written it down in case we need it at some point. And then the other one, yeah, the other one we don't really know. The other one we see our mother either reading or writing a book in the library, and our great uncle is reading a book standing on the shelves in the library. Is that just a clue that we need to read all the books? But we figured that one out. Talking about the library. Planetarium, but it's a bit... I don't want to do the library here. Because we're gonna get all these blue rooms, we're gonna get a bunch of dead ends as well. So we're gonna have to put a dead end here. Planetarium is not a bad choice. Then we can always call it a day, gain 2 more stars. Or study, then we can... we'll do study, that's gonna give us a gem. Because we cracked that safe. And sometimes there might be another gem or something. Yeah, here is usually something on the table. And we have the gem from the save as well. It's a queen room. We don't need chess pieces at the moment. Yeah, we are running Banner of the King, and we already did the castle thing. So the first time we picked the knight power just to add the armory to our floor plans. Then we took the king. Then we had that castle thing. Then we decided to go for the rook and king after the rook opened another door. And then we changed back to Banner of the King, which is still the most powerful of all. So I have no intention of changing that again, unless we have to for some other puzzle maybe. So yeah, that's one dead end out of the way. And it also gave us 2 gems. Let's first see what we can get here. The T-shape would be nice. We'll do... Your allowance has been raised. Oh, even if the drawing room shows up, it goes up? Okay. Well, we're gonna drop it anyway, because if I read it correctly... I think it says that if you drop the room from here, your allowance goes up. Which means we could potentially get 3, if this is the case, but we'll see. Let's see where we go here. No. So it just, I don't think that is written correctly. I think I want to redraw here actually. We can do the library, going to the right, then we can put a dead end in the corner. And we can also redraw from here, so. It's not a bedroom, so clock tower. Tomorrow you will start with 1 key for every tomorrow room. We don't have, we have 2 architect rooms and 2 gear rooms. So this will actually be our first one, but then we can put some more tomorrow rooms in. And this thing, I think usually also has an item upstairs. Yeah, we're just taking the stairs. You can skip these stairs if you have motion sickness or something. They added recently a patch. You can just press a button then and it will just put you here then. Couple of coins. This is the solution for Vera. I'm not sure why it shows you this. Telling you that southwards I see a swan, and the swan is the Eraja thing. And this is the solution for Eraya. That figure is solved. This is also a rook room. What are the rook rooms? The nook, the clock tower, the vault, and the conservatory, I think. I think those are the rook rooms. And that's it, of course. There are only 4 rooks. 2 white ones and 2 black ones. Right. The history of Orindia. We have read this before, but it was censored. A lot of things was smashed out. This is the original copy. Orindia was once the name used to designate the realms of the eastern waters. So Orindia is the eastern side. Though the term is no longer, and that is of course, yeah, it's Orindia, and you have Orinda, which is the queen. You also have Orinda Aries. Confusing. Probably has a meaning at some point. Why they have to be that close together. Almost the same. Yeah, Orinda and Orindia, sort of like the paintings. It's 1 letter difference. Its memory flickers. Hushed circles. Yet we must not let the flame out of our history dwindle. Blah blah blah. We have read all this. This was not censored, I think. That first part was censored, I think. Chapter 1. Agera. Okay, let me find my notes that because whenever we found the censored book, we wrote down a few things. Let's see. First era is Agera. Okay, I've written that down. Most historians mark the beginning of the first era, often denoted as Agera. So AJ is first. Because that's the other thing. We're also getting these Erajan words. So there is an Erajan language. First king of Orindia, whose name Oris. Let's see. First king Oris. Okay, we had that already. Would later grace the burgeoning township in which he was crowned. Oris was known before his coronation as a prominent merchant lord of the considerable means and the affluences who sway in the region. Okay, nothing more there. Regrettable history is not always forthcoming and disturbing records of those. Okay. Nevertheless, we can deduce from these ledgers that Oris had but 1 Ames expansion. The territory spread forth from the heart of Oris, and by the end of the 1st century, the black banners of Orindia could be seen fluttering in every hamlet and bastillery, along every thoroughfare from Oris all the way to the western banks. A new kingdom was born. Black banners. So yeah, Orindia. The black banners of Orindia. So the four realms, because it was Arch Ares, Orindia, Eraja, and Nuance, I think. Maybe Nuance not, maybe only the only 3. We'll see. We'll come to that in a second, probably. The black banners of Orindia. So they used to be black. But then of course after the war they turned red. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. The second era. It was the 4th king of Orindia who split this vast domain in 3 equal shares. Okay, so it's 3. The 3 shares on the right, on the east, are Orindia. Okay. To the eldest son, he granted the fields and mountains of his great-grandfather, the middle province and heartspringdom of the kingdom. The eldest accepted the gift and called his new realm Orinda Ares, after the angelic paragoning of royalty Orinda. So yeah, he named it after the queen. The queen is Orinda, from the Agerian angels. Agerian angels, these were the angels from the 1st century, from the 1st era. Agera, yeah, of course. Makes sense now. To the youngest, he's bestowed upon him the realm of Arch Ares, which is the one on the north, the land of the northern storms. Yeah, this is where we knew that it was stormy for our sigil. A wild and untamed expanse, which at the time was not as developed but a good deal more vast than eldest brother's lot. And to his middle child, his only daughter, he gifted her the southern region of Eraja. So to the daughter. The mythical realm of the ancestors, a land steeped in tradition, magic and poetry of the old tongue. We sort of knew that. I think the only thing we didn't know is some of this was grayed out, I think. Okay, 3rd era. Yeah, 2nd era. Okay. Yeah, and then here is where we got the north is Arch Ares, Orinda Ares, and Eraja. This is where we got our first 3 courts, basically. It comes out of this book. It was also in the other book that was not censored. 2nd era drew to a close. The 3 sovereign realms had achieved a period of remarkable progress and prosperity. Each of these distinct regions, ruled by their respective siblings monarchs, had blossomed. They made it blossoming, and we knew all that. Despite those differences, the symbolic monarchs managed to maintain friendly relations throughout their lives and were known for their cooperation in matters of trade and transportation. Succeeding generations of their heirs continued that tradition, and the 3rd era was defined by the construction of a vast network of railways that spanned the length and breadth of the land, linking the northern mountains of Arch Ares to the southern shores of Eraja. This development facilitated travel and commerce between the 3 realms, further strengthening their bond and laying the foundation for the promise of a prosperous. So yeah, at that moment in the 3rd era, the transportation in all 3 of these was railway. Okay, but that has nothing to do when we are solving the realms. I think we are later, right? The 4th era. As the kingdom of Orinda Ares entered the 4th era, a different kind of ruler took the reins of power. King Desolate the Third. Okay, so 4th era was King Desolate the Third, let's say. About a subject from the most influence. Okay, he was a king who often was seen amongst the people, eating, drinking, and conversating. Okay. Peasantry, whatever. Okay. Desolate was renowned as the king of the people. The king of the people. It was therefore a surprise to no one when he made the decision to move the capital from the secluded mountains of Reddington to the public stage of Orish, leaving castle and court behind. So Reddington used to be the capital. So he left the... So he was here, basically. Because we are in Reddington here. He left the castle in Reddington, that's probably our mansion now, to the public stage of Orish, leaving castle to move the capital. So he moved the capital used to be Reddington, and he moved the capital to Orish. So in the 4th era, the capital was Orish. Before that it was Reddington. The people were overjoyed by this choice, and the city welcomed their king with open arms and great fanfare. Yet not all were swayed. There were those that viewed the king's conduct to be unbecoming of his station and were wary of how rudely he could. These dissenting voices planted the seeds of discontent which took root in the London gardens of the nobles of Fen, or as I have been instructed to say, the grand city of Fen. So Orish is the biggest city, and then this grand city of Fen, and then Reddington, because we read somewhere else that Reddington was the 3rd city now or something. Or maybe that comes later in this book. Did we read it in the other book? That's possible. We've read this book before, but then it was half of it was with a black marker sort of grayed out, so we couldn't read half of it. So this is the original copy. The pacification of Fen, era of the ruin. So this is the 5th era. Yeah, that's when the war shows up, I think, right? Yeah. After the passing of kings, the 4th era came to an abrupt end. Thankfully, the king died naturally in his old age and surrounded by his people in Orish, far away from the growing unrest among the western city of Fen. So Fen is somewhere in the west. On the very next day, the 6th of October, the self-proclaimed Prince Leersen of Fen declared himself the true monarch. This declaration was bolstered by a surprising number of supporters, due to the fact that Desolate IV shared his father's good name, but little of his virtues. Okay, so Desolate III died, IV was not sharing the same values and virtues. So he just let this Leersen guy took over. As the prospect of civil war shimmered up, the frontiers to stamp out and put an end to the Fensurrection. However, instead of restoring order, what ensued was a savage and murderous campaign against their own people. The gardens of Fen, once a center of splendor, were transformed into a battlefield, as the cries of innocent echoed through the city streets stained in red. Brutality of the pacification did not get unnoticed by the neighbors. As sympathy for the city surged, allies came from over to lend support. Among them was the general of the Northern Regiment, who, sickened by the barbaric actions of the other battalions, joined forces with Prince Leersen to force a formidable army. Together they leveraged their political influence and favors to persuade their nearby realms of Arch-Aries and Nuance to join their cause. So we have the middle. So the middle sort of and the north and Nuance joined there, so that this tells us that Nuance is close to these three as well. However, even with the tide turning in their favor, victory did not come easy. The War of the Fifth Era lasted 22 years and saw buried 1 in 3 men. Prince Learsam himself added another number to the casualties, so he also passed away. However, even in that he had won. Oris had fallen, and with it the realm. Right, so they had a war against their own people. Yeah, that's why it turned from the black realm to the red realm. The black flags then had flown from 5 eras were burned, and in their place red banners were hoisted. Yep, yeah. So it's in the 5th era that black became red, although we're all in the same area. And then we are now in the 6th era. That's where we are playing a role here now. Today the realms inherited by the three, Fen Aries, Arch Aries and Eradia, once again stand united as allies. So yeah, only Orinda is gone because that's where the war took place. Though the distance between every people has grown, our connection to this land remains as strong as ever. The spruce and birch constant reminder that we all share a common past, and as those trees continue to grow, so do our hopes. Yeah, that's also why, of course, Orinda Aries and Fen Aries have the same weather type, because it's the same region. A future where we are not defined by the colors of the banners we raise, but by that which connects us. A land that we each call home. So yeah, they're all living under the red flags here, but they're deep in heart, they're still black supporters. For this is, despite everything else, a land rich in history, a land of myth and wonder, a land that sprung forth the greatest empire the world has ever seen, the land of our fathers, of our mothers and our children. This land is, after all that has happened, is still Orindia. Although it's now Arch Aries, Fen Aries and Eradia, those three together are still Orindia. Okay. So now we read the censored version and the uncensored versions. So next up we're gonna have to read the drafting volumes, I think. Press R for room directory, we knew that. Okay, where are we? Library. So we can get... we can't get the bookshop anymore. We ordered all the books, so I don't think the bookshop will appear anymore. And definitely not today, because that's a yellow shop. Because the book, you can only draft the bookshop from the library. I think we need a bit of an exit here, because we only have one exit into row 3, depending on what we get in the entrance hall. So we might do a classroom here. That gives us an apple. I totally forget what experiment we are running. While drafting, if you draw a drawing room floor plan, permanently add a gold. Oh yeah, okay. We can draft it another times. We have one in the house, but we have another one duplicated from the Chamber of Mirrors. Well, that's not great, but we can redraw 4 times from the classroom. It's one of the privileges of a classroom. Aquarium, we don't have any gems, so the den should be not a bad idea. That would be a nice room to duplicate as well. A nice T-shape, nothing fancy about it, no negative effects. No. Let's see what we get here. Something right and up would do actually. Or do we put a no contact mailroom here? It's gonna make it more difficult to get from the entry hall straight up here though. So maybe we should do a workshop. Now we could potentially put a dead end above the entrance hall if we get exit here. That's also an option. Although the way we have the foundation, the game does not like that. I think we should have it like turned around or something, that the wall was on the our wall is on the east side now. It's always blocking my right side for some reason. What we got? Only a sledgehammer. Sledgehammer. There was a trunk somewhere which we couldn't open. Laboratory, I think. Yeah, I think it was in the laboratory. This is what I thought they would do, something stupid like this. Okay, bedroom it is. Let's have a quick look. This is a free room. Oh, we still have the Baron bafflers here. We looked into that meanwhile, but get behind locked doors. We thought it could be secret or inmate, or there are a few options. Remain is also an option. You know, you want to keep it behind the locked doors, but it doesn't matter if you do inmate or remain. You're gonna get an M here as the first one of the darker grays. Can affect one greatly when made by someone with a strong spirit. We thought it was alcohol at some point, but it could also be an alcohol type, right? And apparently it needs to be martini, which gives you MA. Makes the validity of a statement clear. Notary we said there, right? Yep, that makes sense. So then we have MAN, man. On a certain scale, this is very hot. We were thinking about scales. Celsius was too long. Fahrenheit is way too long. So then we thought Kelvin maybe. But of course, it could also be a real scale, a balance of some sort, and that's what it is. It's molten, apparently, which is a scale for yeah, what is it? Something chemical, I think. Informs you that there's no school today is a notice. So we get an I over here. So we get MANTI, and then a group composed of members that have similar characteristics. We were thinking on a music band or something, but SEC insect, something with insect, I think. Either way, the first letter of every of these words is MANTIS, so you get mantis, which is an insect of some sort, mostly in the tropicals. But that is all fine, but it doesn't do anything. I mean, this is one of those things. It was mentioned somewhere that before the parlor games or before the dart games, they used to play the Baron bafflers, but that is now has been replaced with the parlor game, I guess, where we can find the gems. So this thing is one of these things which you sometimes find in this game, which don't actually lead to something. At some moment you will get the bedroom as a on your treasure map, and then you can dig that up, but it doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to another puzzle, or at least not that we know of. We do have to go back though. We need to smash that thing, which I think was in the I think it was in the laboratory. Yeah. Now that we have a sledgehammer. Gems. What's going on? We're not getting keys today, or what? Which is not great. Especially seeing we're approaching the higher ranks. We're gonna run into closed doors at some point. Again here. I think I'm gonna redraw. I would like to see something with a key, a storeroom or something would be perfect. Why can't we redraw with gems? Ah, because we have the study. Oh, in that case we'll put the winery here. Then we have more gems to reroll later on. That could work. Security. Something straight, please. We want a T-shape here that we can get past, and then put a dead end here. Like here, utility here would be great. Then we can put up the key card system as well. So I want a T-shape here, so I am gonna redraw. We'll use one of the gems from the winery. There we go. Conference room, we'll take that. We know that. I'm also gonna quickly pick up some notes here and there in all of these rooms. Place them in the office safe. Yeah, okay, we know that. That's what I'm gonna do in the future as well. Okay, allowance has been raised because here we have another drawing room, so we're not gonna draw it in, obviously. We'll use another gem. Not gonna waste exits here. It's next to a bedroom, but it's not a joint though. A joint means we need to have a doorway. We can rotate floor plans. Then we can use the dove code. That will give us an extra exit. Yep, okay. I'm okay with that. Deal. We don't have a shovel though. And seeing we have chosen a blue day, it also doesn't want to seem to give us any... I could potentially do garage here if it shows up. Would be nice. Then we have some keys. Okay, yep, there we go. That's a no-brainer. See, we had no keys. Can we get a shovel as well here? That would be nice. No, we haven't found many items either. Also makes sense in a way because we have chosen blue as our color. That means that you're not gonna get many items because they're usually in green rooms. The only items we're gonna get are closet, walk-in closet, or attic probably. Yeah. Okay. I'll take it. Keycard system up. Hold this up. Garage on. At the moment there's no reason to go outside. Although, that being said, let's put up the keycard system first. Let's have a look. What did we miss? Nothing. Okay. So, put it on high. Thank you. And just unlock the doors for us, please. High unlocked, that's what you want if the power is up. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We have a bunch of dirt here. We could... and we have power to the garage door now, so we can open it. I'm gonna draft a outside room. We only have a sledgehammer, and we're not gonna find that many items. See, we're not running green. So something like a tool shed could give us a shovel, then we can dig in all those dirt piles there. Because it also doesn't seem to give us shops, so the chances we're gonna be able to buy the commissary stuff is also pretty slim by the looks of it. There we go, tool shed. No luck. Metal detector and a battery pack. Well, that's something that you can do. Build up your house in such a way that get a garage here somewhere not too high up. We're not that high, 4 up. You can quickly come out and draft a room then outside. But it didn't, our plan didn't work out as planned. We can still not dig here. And furthermore, we have to go all the way around. Which is also not great. Well, at least we are raise our allowance a little bit. Because we got the drawing room. Oh, we didn't even draft it this time, right? Yeah, 42. So we can still allow every time we get drawing room and don't pick it, because we have a second drawing room. It will raise it up. We also want the dining room, I think. I was just about to say. We need to pick that because we're getting low on steps, so we need our lunch at least. And Joya, the chef. Oh, there's something extra. A couple of coins. Something that turns. No, let's use our reroll thing. The chamber of mirrors is no good. No, we want something that I want access to that square. Okay, now we have no other choice. We need to do the drafting studio because otherwise we might not have enough gems to run it, and we are still missing 2 floor plans in our grid. In our pool. So we have to do this. We still have the dormitory and the solarium left. It doesn't matter. It does not matter which of these ones we pick. This was needed to open this safe. That's done. Anything else here? Quickly have a look. This is the layout of the Great Hall of today, which is Tuesday, December 8th. We need to keep an eye on the date as well. Once we reach December 25th, we want to be on the boudoir, which is the Christmas room. We'll probably get Christmas gifts there. Here is one of the volumes. Drafting Strategy Volume 1. Okay. We have 3, 4 and 5 available in the library, so 1 and 2 are somewhere else. Blueprints, all the different colors. The nursery. That's with no longer a purple room in my grid. We made that green. So it's no longer a bedroom for me. What is this? This is a normal bedroom. What's that supposed to mean? Is there somebody sitting next to this thing? There is a seat next to it, but is there one in the bedroom next to it? It's possible. We usually find something on the hand behind us, or there could be a trunk here on this bed end here sometimes. Green rooms, we know all about that. This is the greenhouse. It can spray water. Yeah, if you have water floating from the pump room to the greenhouse, then it sort of rains water and it puts water on these flowers, and then sometimes the flowers have gems. If you have emptied the greenhouse in the pump room, then it will be dry, bare ground. And here we have the hallways. We know about that. We know the foyer opens all the doors, in especially effect on the Great Hall. Then we have all the shops, synergies, coin purse, makes sense, coupon book, vault. I'm not sure what the synergy from the vault to a shop is, other than the fact that you have 40 coins in the vault, I think. I guess that's what the synergy is. You can get a lot of gold there to then use in the shops. That's the synergy, I'm assuming. Then we have the negative spaces, although that is also holy moly. Well, that solved one of our problems. That says Daja and that says Lydia, which is two of the angels that we are missing. Well, we're not missing them. We know their names, Lydia, Daja and Veya. But this is a picture of the chapel. So whoever is left, I don't know that by heart. The one on the left of the altar is Daja, the one on the right is Lydia. So if we go check the chapel, we know who those twos are, and then we also know who Veya is, because that's the only one remaining then. And then we also know the order in which to interact with them. Because we were missing 3, so we could gamble like 17,000 combinations, but we have it complete now. We just have to go see which of these angels is... I don't know. Is that the gardener? No, that's Rina. Gardener is not there. It's got to be the farmer or the chimney sweep, I think, because I think the jockey, which is also one we are missing, was somewhere on the right, so that could be Lydia. I don't know. We need to see in the chapel. So Doya on the left, Lydia on the right. Let's write that down, because we might need to know it the next day. We've chosen blue today. I don't think we're going to see a red room today. Okay. Yeah. So this is where those two of those angel names are. Red room is red. Associated resource. Vexation. Oh yeah, you can X out. Oh yeah, that's with the what's it called? It's that spray thing there. But you can only find that spray in the lost and found room. Yeah, which makes sense. That's also a red room. Okay. Okay, we need connection to this here though. This needs to turn. course it does. Oh, there we go. Bacon and eggs. That's already 10 steps. Got a key. Here I think we did all we could with what we need this to be. We looked with the magnifying glass on what all that says. We have read that note. We also noticed the word beside is in italic. The same as in other words in the pantry, the patio and the office. And that gives you west, bridge, beside, buried. So there was something buried beside the bridge west. We have figured that out. That is the one of the microships. This should also give us lunch. There we go. An extra 10 steps because we entered the 5th rank. That's when we have lunch. And we still don't have a shovel. Yeah, that is going to be a problem, eh? Getting our hands on a shovel. Maybe not anymore. It's a bit annoying though. Building wise, strategically wise, we should do aquarium. We really should. Seeing it gives us options to go left and right. Commissary is going to force everything to the left again, which means our right side is all depending on the dining room. We need to go for choices. And this can also have a shovel, but we are not lucky. Matter of fact, it doesn't have anything. Let's go to the right first, see what we get here. The pool is probably the best option. That gives us access to 1, 2, 3 squares here. Chambers of mirrors is also an option, but then we have to come around again. We can't afford any of this. We have to do chambers of mirrors. Wonderful. We are out of gems. Nothing more we can do here. Then press that button. Because now we have to come from at least 2 other sides. You need to come in from 3 different sides to be able to solve the whole thing. Okay, you're gonna get my last key as well. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to look for materials. And I was just about to say, why is it giving me another breakfast nook? Because of the chamber of mirrors. Our whole floor plan is double now. That's not bad actually. If we can get another drafting studio, we have our last room in the pool. Or another dining room. Unfortunately not so great, other than the fact it will give us another lunchbox. Can't afford the office, which is our way out. The mail room is even worse. Yeah, it's either way, it doesn't matter. This thing takes us back into the foundation. We can't afford the one which takes us out of here. We're stuck on this side. Then I can as well do the mailroom. Get rid of a dead end. We'll have a package tomorrow. And we might have some new letters. And it can also have an item. It usually does. But I don't see anything. Am I blind? Oh, no broken lever, no battery pack. Last time we found a battery pack here. We also found a metal detector here once. Nothing. We definitely have new letters because we had 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were there. Okay. Simon, following up on the mock-up created outlining the steam power duct, I would be helpful for the gas power. Okay, yeah. These are the 4 blue flames. Apple Orchard, Gemstone Cavern, Hovel, Schoolhouse. We knew that. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Four more to read. Just in case the DC power, we know all about that. Here's a bit behind this guy. If 5 of the 6 indicators lights are all the same color, pressing the 6th indicator will always sync it up. So yeah, you can get greens and blues and purples, and if all 6 lights are green, pressing any of them will result in the appearance of a blue. If all 6 lights are purple, yeah, we know that, we solved that. Pressing a blue indicator will turn it off and flip both of its neighbors to blue. Yeah, we know all that, mate. We know all that. Tell us something new. Hope all is going well on the estate. I was discussing my communications with you with another fellow technician, Kimberly Thompson, and she suggested I disclose you to the locations of the drafting strategy issues she personally found on the estate. Issue 1, Dormitory. Library, bookshop. Those are the drafting studio volume things. Yeah, we just read number 1 in the drafting studio. 3, 4 and 5. 3 was in the library, 4 and 5 we bought in the bookshop. So then the dormitory should have number 2 then. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Mrs. Ann Babbage, house manager, my boss. Kirk Darren, head of security. Randolph Moore, the lead lab technician, network administrator, and humble author of these letters. Yeah, Randolph Moore is the more, when it comes to communication, he's our guy basically. Kimberly Thompson is the assistant. She has the same rights on the Grotto computer as he does. Chef de camp, head of the kitchen. We know that as well from the mails. Hartley Ruota is the Baron's personal valet, who is retiring. That's okay, he will be fine. He gets a house from our great uncle, so. Christophe the chauffeur, and Robert Nogula the new groundskeeper, because the old one, Danny Rivain, was too much having a business of moonshine with Christophe the driver. So Danny got fired and we got a new groundskeeper now. There are a handful of other names among the various live-out and seasonal service staff, but due to their infrequent mention, I thought it best to omit them from the cursory introduction. Well, we know there's Bridget. She's one of the mates. Another successful experiment, another letter. You have certainly been keeping yourself busy, as I've spent the last few days racking my brain trying to come up with new clues for you. I'm reminded of your mother's app name book, A New Clue. That's the next one we were about to check out from the library, but thanks for pointing us out. That was definitely the suggestion we should go. Break the bricks in the weight room with something that has a handle and is very heavy. That's too late for that, mate. We already broken all the walls with the power hammer, but thanks for letting us know. A couple of days too late, but... Okay, so Random here is giving us solutions. Like one of the first letters was like the password of the computer, I think. So how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's still room for a few more. So probably 15, something like that. So we probably need to do another mail experimenting. Okay, back to the dining room. Oh, I thought I had to go all the way around the house, but that doesn't seem to be the case. god. No, we can get to confused me for a second there with these two breakfast nooks. we went 2 times to the same room. I'm like, what? This is. It's also going to ask us our last keys here now. I think we have to go. I don't know. This room is something we need to X, that we can get this room for free and then get 8 gems. That would be nice. What is going to help us here? The kennel, if you dig there, it unlocks that door. That's very interesting, but we don't have a shovel. So I think we can better do workshop and then hope that we get the shovel. Of course not. Of course, I knew we were gonna do this. I knew it was gonna give us a broken lever so that we, with a battery pack, we can make the power hammer, but that's not great. What are we gonna do with the power hammer? The only thing which potentially could be broken is like a little piece of wall in the tomb, which looked a little bit suspicious. But we don't have the tomb. The other things, we have the outside wall. We have smashed the secret garden wall. We have smashed the weight room. And the other day we smashed the greenhouse wall as well. So I don't think we need that power hammer anymore. So I am not going to use that. That is up. It's about time to show up. We have to go for something with a pass through here. Of course, it's not gonna connect. So we cannot get from this side and we can't get from this side, which means we can't get into the mirror room. Great stuff. Yes, I'm trying to pick it up. Metal detector. Room 8. Well, at least we have a gem now. We can choose some better rooms, but here you are with your attic. The attic is one of those rooms that we X, so it is normally it's 3 gems, but now it's free. It has 8 items. It probably has our shovel, but then we are dead because we can't get into that mirror room anymore. So we have to go. Yeah, we can get in there from 2 sides, but that's not. I don't think that's enough to get everything open. If I'm not mistaken, you need 3 sides. So we'll do morning room, 2 gems, and also 2 gems tomorrow, and a child on a shovel. Now, where do we have dig spots? Foundation and the dove coat as well, I think. But the dove coat, how do we get there? Only from the bottom? I think so. We could go to the foundation and then go outside and then come into the garage and then go to the dove coat. That would not cost that many steps. If we take the elevator down here and then go around from the outside and go into the garage, it will probably cost us 5 steps. That's definitely less than going through the whole house here and going up to the garage. So that could be an option. Aquarium also has dig spots, foundation. Yeah, I think we need to do that before we do anything else. Main reason being keys. We don't have enough keys. We are high up in the ranks of the house. Okay, footsteps that will help us run around the house. Coins, yeah. That could also help. Okay, that will help us at least breathe a little bit more. No key at all, of course not. Do we have another workshop? No. Okay. Yeah, we have to. We have to do what I'm about to do. Now that we have a shovel. Now we can do a shovel, battery pack, broken lever, make the jackhammer. Then go outside, come back in, go to the dove coat and use that jackhammer there. Dig deeper, more chance of getting a few keys or a bunch of gems. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, boy, that's also fine. We can always come back to have dinner. Classroom we need to be. I'm gonna go all the way around. That's also gonna cost us a bunch of steps. Entrance hall. Was there a dig spot here? Can't remember. No. There sometimes is though. There was no dig spot there. Oh no, thought for a second that was a storeroom. Garage has also no dog spot. No, it's just gonna be here, I think. Okay, 2 rolling dice. 2 gems. Okay, can we get any keys, please? No, bloody nail. Well, we got a couple of gems and rolling dice. Well, we have to come back anyway, though. We have to go all the way back. We came back, which means we're not in good shape. Good thing we started to know the road by now. But 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0. Boom boom. Can't even get back to the dining room. So that means we're gonna have to look for a kitchen or something that sells food. Or another dining room. We do have another dining room, of course. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea, baby. Good thing we have these rolling dice. And we can also we have more gems now. We still have 6 rerolls with gems as well. We need a kitchen or a dining room or we are dead. There we go. Allowance has been raised because the drawing room shows up again. And it also connects us to the thing, but I don't think 2 is enough there, but it's exactly what we needed. That's another lunchbox that will save us for now. And that also means that if we reach rank 8 somewhere, we can have 2 dinners if we want. Although I don't know what's on the mirror. It opens that. How is that going to help us? Yeah, of course, this is where the keys are. Well, we can't get to there. We need to press that button to open these 2 windows. I'm pretty sure. We need to go all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And even then, I think we can't do it. I think we can't. Yes, I know. Keep beeping, game. Keep beeping. Coupon book. Yep, sure. We get it. We get it. We need to get out of here. And this doesn't work. We're done. We are completely done. The keys are in the middle room. There are at least 4 downstairs and then maybe another 2 upstairs. That's why we didn't find any keys anywhere. We didn't reach rank 8 yet, so we cannot have dinner. I cannot find a key anywhere. We picked up the 3 keys from the garage. That's the only keys we got today. And then 1 from the breakfast nook. And then another 1 from the breakfast nook, but we already had to use 1 to even get to the other breakfast nook, so. We got 5 keys, and that's what we got. The only key we have is room key 8, but that only works in room 8. Yeah, I knew we should. But that's the risk of running blue rooms. You don't get your green rooms with items. You don't get your hallways, which helps you get through the house. So choosing blue is not always the best choice. It is in case you need something like the drafting studio, which I have no idea what. We have it on standard. We already brought it down a bit, but if you want to get to room 46 very quickly, you run an orange day. If you want to get items, you run a green day. That's pretty much how that works. If you need something specifically from shops, then you run a shops day, of course. But we have chosen blue because I needed library and I needed drafting studio. Then choosing blue is the best way to do it. But this is the risk. You're gonna run out of keys and gems. Gems very often sprout in green rooms, keys also in the dig spots. That's where you get a lot of keys from, and they are mainly in green rooms. So if you run a blue day, then you have a problem. Yep, GG. Well, we added, what did we do? Solarium, I think. The Architect's House of Cogs, yeah, of course. Nature. Up to the next one. This time we will not choose a color, so that we get the chapel to see what the angels' names are. Or we know what the angels' names are, we just need to see which angel it is. Doja on the left, whatchamadoodle on the right, Lydia. Let's see what the package is from the mailroom. Compass, gems and keys. We'll deal with that. Okay. And 40 something co-allowance, 43 meanwhile. With our experiment from yesterday, we increased 3 allowance tokens. Okay. So we're looking for, let's do something else. Let's see if we can do this. Hallway, sure. Just gonna see if I can immediately connect to the foundation, because that always seems to be a problem every day. Okay, we got 1 going left, 1 going right. That's almost perfect. And look at it. And look at them now giving me a T-shape which goes left and right. No. Okay, good. We have connection to the foundation. That of course, yeah, with no doors. That's because of the compass. That's why that is happening. And now we can go back and just fill up our grid. Preferably, how did we start with 6 keys today? Did we really have 6 tomorrow rooms? Yeah, we had clock tower, we had mail room, we had morning room. Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. Sure. That's a free room. We'll get our gem back. There we go. And we can drop whatever we want. So let's try the corner first, see what we get. Conservatory would be nice. Boudoir. Oh, no, we'll do commissary. We'll do commissary. See what you're selling here today. You're gonna fool me again here. Give me my shovel. Actually, we have enough coins. Just give me everything. We have the money for it to buy everything from the commissary, and that's the best way to do it, is doing that. Then you have a chance of finding all the other items. The Mount Holly gift shop. It's like 3x. I don't need that. I need to get past here. That's what we need. Secret passage and then a green room, and we'll take a, we'll see, probably a courtyard, but or an aquarium, also good. Cost is bypassed. Coin, another key. Yeah, we're gonna have so many keys today. Okay, he's gonna kill us here. No, we just need access to that. Okay, we'll do breakfast nook. We don't need a garage necessarily. Salty breakfast. Anything that goes left, please. Okay, observatory definitely goes left. Probably the best one. The rest it will be a waste of exits. We can get here from the aquarium. We can get here from the hallway, or from the drawing room. Even better. Then we can choose which dead end we want here, and we have 2 exits to the right here. So observatory seems to be a good deal. Now we go back down again to fill up the other side. What we got here? Delicious apples, that one. This is clay with the key, and this one is sales. Yeah, very nice. Very nice to get the sales when you just bought out the whole commissary at full price. Don't necessarily have to deal with that. We can better draft that from the foundation and see if we can go to the right. This access fine, but we don't need it. It's better to get a T-shape here from the foundation. Here it does not really matter, does it? Nope. We can dead end this thing. The pool. That's the locker room, the sauna, and the pump room. Sauna would potentially give us... Oh, and we have 2 trunks as well. We're gonna have to gamble on it, but there is something else here though. Car keys. Because that thing started beeping before we even opened the box. Yeah, we'll risk the key. Seeing we had so many keys, we can do it. Of course. We just get the 2 boxes which don't have a key. Some boxes have 3 keys. Then you have it pays it back in. Okay. That side is fine. And now we can decide to choose another dead end. right here. Because we can. There we go. Planetarium. We still need to upgrade this thing a bit more. I believe you can upgrade it 5 times with a telescope. We did it once and it put a trunk in here. This is okay. 3 trunks in a row. I know what I want here. Something that moves. We have enough coins. This is keys, eh? You know this is keys, but it could also be key card, which is also not bad because we have nothing power or security or any of that business. 11. 2 minus 1 is 1. 10 minus 10 is 0. Times 18 is still 0. Plus 10 is 10. Holy moly. 6 plus 2 is 8. Minus 1 is 7. Minus 4 is 3. Minus 3 is 0. Multiplied by whatever you want, it will still be 0. Plus 1 is 1. Okay. Wants to fool us a little bit with the zeros today. We mainly want to go right if that's possible. No. Game says no. We can get here from the den. So I don't want any of this. What is this? That's power. No, I don't know. I don't want any of this. I'm gonna redraw. Take the pump room. How are we doing here? We empty the pool and the reservoir is on safe house level. Fine. And we have water, everything else. Unless, where does 3 go? 3 goes to tank number 1. Do we have an aquarium? We have an aquarium. Okay, we're gonna play around with this then a bit. We want this thing. No, that's in. Out. Nope. That one. And we want this one. Need to be careful here what I do now. No, that works, huh? Yeah. Water from that tank into the pool. And then we want water from the aquarium into that tank. Oh. The wrong lever. And now we need to go to that aquarium to figure out what's going on there. And then we come back and see what else we can do. Silver key. Where's the aquarium? How do we get there? Just all the way to the end. Few of these things that we still have to do, you know. Alright, so what's going on? Not much by the looks of it. That is... I'm assuming it's supposed to be the bedroom. Although there's normally some thing on that end of the bed, right? Okay, what we got here? Archives. Okay, what is that all about? There's an arrow pointing at the archives filing cabinet. Archives bottom drawer. Bottom drawer of the filing cabinet. Okay. I don't see anything in the bedroom though. Okay, what we got here? Patio, terrace, patio. X. What is that? The front of the barbecue. On the ground. We have a shovel, but we don't have a patio. What's this? A hallway of some sort? Don't see anything there though. And then we have the laundry. There we have another X. The middle of the dryers. Okay, so we need to start digging in the laundry and patio to get probably the keys for those things. Because we checked those things in the archives, they do not open. So you probably need some sort of filing cabinet key or whatever. Okay. Let's go back. How are we doing on steps? Pretty okay. We can mess about a bit. Okay, we have to do the reverse thing now. What is this? This needs to go in here. Oh, stupid thing. I need to put them in here for a second because this is a full tank, and otherwise we're gonna have with 1 and 3, and then it's gonna be a complete mess. All the coins we throw in the fountain over time. Is there any point in opening this door? Oh, I don't think so. We're never gonna have this drained anyway. So the only purpose of this was to get our coins back. Yeah, wait, no, there's no point. There's no point. We have access through the blue flame elevator. We have access. Now we emptied everything, I think. Kitchen doesn't do anything, just makes the water not flood out of the tap anymore. So you want some water in the kitchen. The greenhouse the same. You want some water in there to make the flowers a bit more showing up. Makes the greenhouse a bit more fruitful, let's say, or at least the bottom. Okay, so we need this thing to go back to begin with. Okay, pool is fine. That tank needs to empty over there. So fountain back to full. Okay, and now we need this thing. To be back to safe house level. There we go, and the pool is back to empty. Now we just put all these things in neutral position. That if we press the button next time, that it doesn't immediately start pulling all over the place. Although I think we never need that pump room again now. A fountain, we picked up our coins. Ah, of course. Where is the east wing when you want it, right? What do we want here? We need coins? No, we don't need coins. But we are gonna draft it because we wanted to check the office mail. It's the only computer we haven't checked after putting all these mailboxes back on in the admin thing. There were mails in the other one, so maybe this one also has new mails. Do we even have a... Power, changes to the estate, fuse bug repair, no. She had no new mails here. These are still the 4 original ones. So every computer has 4 mails. And when we started playing, only the office had electronic mail. Because the other computers, shelter, laboratory and security, the mailbox was put up in the grotto. But now we put it back on in the grotto. Okay. And here we can draft any stupid bloody dead end we want, but I think we want power mainly. Oh. There we go. Very nice. Keycard system up, gymnasium up, dark room up, garage on. Gymnasium you put up so that you don't lose steps. Keycard system is up. Then you need security to put the security off, but we have security. Because we can connect from the office with the ATA system. RTA to the active terminals, which are none, but that doesn't matter. We have Black Bridge Grotto connection, which means we can connect to one of these offline ones. So we connect to security, and now we can also put the keycard system up from this terminal. Somehow or another, we still miss the truck. Security system is offline now that we cut the power, which means we can put it on a high chance of getting those. And we will just unlock them so we can push them open without needing up any cards or whatsoever. High unlocked with the power up, that's what you want. We have enough steps to check. We open this one. What is with this trunk, by the way? Ah, okay. There's probably one in the den then. We have not even been in that room, I think. Yeah, we did actually. Not sure. Okay. We open that one. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's that stupid fucking castle word again. Some letters for the castle word. Oh my god, where is that? Oh, here. I blank OO. We have that all. What is that? OR? Okay. So we have CI something, A something something, SIX, TOR, LOR, ET something. Okay. What does he want from us here? We've opened these. Observatory? I'm lost. We lost a lot of steps here as well, but I'm also lost. We checked every room, right? Security computer tells me that there is another trunk in the house. Then it must be in security itself, although we don't have the room. It's funny how that always do things like this, huh? Do the dining room. Some salty lunch. We'll first see what we get here. Ah, silver key. That's good. We put the security system up, so we could potentially do this. But I think I want to go... Where do we want to go? We have access from here to the foundation. So we can do this. Okay. We can do this, that means that we can put a dead end here. Okay. Boudoir will give us a gem and some rerolls. This will give us 2 gems and 2 gems tomorrow. Furnace will give us nothing than pain. Let's do the boudoir. Two rolling dice, upgraded, always in here. Oh, we still don't have an outside room. Nope, not gonna do that actually. It's funny how that works. This room only has security doors, and very often you find the lockpick kit in here. I want to draw from here, I think. Freezer. Yeah, I don't want to go all the way back to utility to put the light on, so we're not going to do that. We'll do the bedroom. We have the sleeping mask. Gives us extra 2 steps, 5-step sleeping mask. We get a key. Anything that goes forward. Chapel. Obviously. So, who are you, Doja? Doja is the farmer. Now, where are you, girls? Oh my god, I just wrote it down earlier. It's another piece of paper somewhere. Oh, here we are, here we are. Got it. So this one is Doja, which is the farmer. Okay, and the other one, Lydia, is the jockey. And then Vea is the chimney sweeper. Okay, then we have the order. And we don't have an outside room, and we have 2 rolling dice, so we can immediately do it. And it would even be perfect if it gives me the garage here. And we don't have to go downstairs, we can immediately go outside and get the tomb and get this thing sorted, whatever it is. But of course it's not going to give me the garage. We'll keep trying. We have one more chance. I think you can get the garage in the corner. I think, but it offers us this once, and the problem with the garage is if you don't take it, you usually don't get it back, but you never know. And I can't re-roll because I need the rolling dice to get the tomb outside. What is this thing? This thing counts as 2 bedrooms. We do have the sleeping mask, so that's 10 extra steps. If you have exactly 2 hallways when drafting, you double your keys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hallways. Locksmith. Guess we'll just do pantry then. Salty banana. Is there any way we're gonna get to that left? What is left? Left is secret garden or mechanarium. Probably not, so we don't necessarily need to connect to it. But of course it's going to. If you have the tomb on the estate today, gain an additional 4. Oh, laundry. A shower? We do. Okay, let's do laundry then. Laundry. What's it? The middle of the dryers. So here somewhere. Oh, there we go. A long buried file cabinet key. Likely opens up a drawer somewhere. Yeah, we know that. We figured that. But now we have another problem though. The problem is that the archive is not in our house. So we either need to get the archive or we need to get the code check so that we can code check this thing. Because, yeah, usually if you dig up something and you lose it, then it's back there, right? Either you can dig it up again or it will be on the dryer or something. But we'll see, we have still some options. And a lockpick which doesn't do anything. Okay, code check might not be a bad idea then. Okay, let's just keep it there. At the moment we have the blue crown in there. Oh, what do you know? Yeah, of course. Of course, you're not gonna give me something that goes through. What are the workshops and the rumpus rooms of town? We can still get the geisting room, which also has. Okay, gymnasium. Gymnasium is fine. That thing is off. So we don't lose steps. Right, cloister it is, obviously. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, what is that? CIX. C blank X it says. Okay. C blank X ETT. X $. Okay, so these are the castle thing. CIX at 6 tor lor et. That's the castle thing downstairs next to the chessboard. That's like one of the puzzles we were working on. Then on the other side we have Orinda the Queen, Lydia the Jockey, Rina the Gardener, Joya the Chef, Daya the Farmer, Vea the Chimney Sweeper, Mila the Maid, and Draxus the King of that. That's the order, the numeric order, not the Roman numeral order, but the numeric order. The original numeric order of the angels, which means that's another way of interacting with these. That's 6. Okay, CIX is 109. 109. At 6 is 115. And then we have Tor Lor Et, which we have no idea what that means. That sounds like Erajan. So we need to figure out what that means. That makes me think classrooms. More than likely will give us the answer to that. We saw one grade in classroom so far. We never run the classrooms. So yeah. That's like 3 puzzles we're working on here, which we just pretty much found the last pieces of information that we needed. Except for this Torlor Ed thing, we need to find an Erajan dictionary or something. Other than that, we need the archives in our house. Ballrooms? I don't think so. We'll take this. Who are you? Draxus? Why are you hanging here? Yeah, that's definitely Draxus. Is that because we called it a day in the ladies' chamber? Is that what he did? He killed us? Is that why? We called it a day in the ladies' chamber, and the next day we had 10 steps less. And then we found the diary, which actually explains what happens. If you call it a day in the ladies' chamber, you lose 10 steps. If you call it a day in the master room, bedroom, you gain 10 steps the next day. If you call it a day in what was it? Was it dormitory or bunk? I think it was bunkhouse. Bunk room. If you call it a day in the bunk room, you lose half your step the next day, I think. And then we have this guy here. If you have the tomb on the estate today, you gain an additional 4. Oh, that's why Draxus is hanging here. He's related to the tomb. Because we upgraded this room to the guy's bedroom. Okay. Makes sense. As long as it makes sense in your head, right? Okay. That's no doubt about it. It's going to be gift shop because that connects to the foundation and our way out, so we can always now we basically have one straight line always up from the entrance hall straight into the antechamber. Maybe, depending on what's going on here. Yeah, there we go. Spare bedroom, straight in. Do we need to be there is the next question. Not for any of the things we're working on. So then do we have a planetarium? We do have a planetarium. Then it might be a better idea to do the attic. That might give us a telescope, which means we can add something more to the planetarium in the future. We have a bunch of items already, so there's a good chance we find something like the telescope, because all the rest we have more or less in our inventory already. We'll see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. That could give us the archive. That silver key. 5, right? Ah. Okay, yeah. Maybe you should check all the items, Dave. No, it's not the telescope. It's the treasure map. We can dig there if we want to. This was also a wonderful move. Huh? Let's open the trunk with a key while there's a sledgehammer right there. Yeah, that's what happens if you do one thing at a time. What are we doing with here? We have den here, and we have gift shop. We need to get around this place here. Our whole corner here is wasted otherwise. What's going on here? Yeah, we are sold out except for the Rigi blocks, which says coming soon, but that's been saying that for a year. This was supposed to come with a patch so that you can play it in the commissary, in the arcade game, but it never came so far, so that thing stays question marks forever, I think. And the blue tents you can only buy if you have 8 trophies. We're still working on that. Kennel might not be a bad idea. If we can get an east wing hall here. The other ones are dead, so yeah. Kennel it is. And there is a dig spot here. This one is resting. He's chilling. He's out. Here's some more letters for the castle thing. Well, one actually. We'll pet him for good luck, and this door is unlocked now as soon as we dig. That's the panel. Strong combo. Shovel in your inventory. Always drop the cannon. Opens all the doors on places with dig spots, and then you ask for the east wing hall and you get it. Yeah, we want to go south now. Seven keys. Yeah, we can make a zigzag here, that doesn't matter. Library sounds good to me. Eat an apple. Salty apple even. And they were delicious today because of the observatory. And we are ordering. Let's see. We've read all these shenanigans. We're still 3, 4, 5 here. There might be some information. We found some information in one, but we've read all of this. So we have left. We read also Realm Rune first because we were dealing with those sigils to find more information. So we have the Curse of the Black Bridge, which I think unlocks curse mode, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I think it adds it to the gift shop or something like that. It is, I believe. So if we read this book, which is a whole puzzle of books, and then we have a new clue. That's probably the last one we want to do because that's going to give us a lot of new clues we have to think about probably. So we'll leave the new clue to because we are dealing with 3 other puzzles at the moment. If we do a new clue, it probably will give us a 4th. So yeah, and then these strategies we will order after that, just to see if it's like something like these angels or something, if there is something in these books. So we'll do the curse thing here. Curse thing, and then we have these 4 on the right. The rest we have seen. The fixed stars is completely in the observatory. There are no pages missing or anything, so that's the same book. But we ordered it, so yeah, except for the pump system, we need to do the whole right side. Within the library structure, let's put it that way. And from the left side, this is the last one. So let's do with that. Yeah, something left. Anything that goes left. Computer says no. We could of course also come from here. What's this? For each bedroom. Aquarium is a bedroom. Boudoir, that's 2. Bedroom is 3. Guy's bedroom is 4. And then this one is 5. Then we'll have 5 keys. There are not even 12 spaces anymore. We don't need that. Can play around in the casino a bit. Don't need that either at the moment. But yeah, do we want to go lost and found with all this stuff here? It's probably going to take our filing cabinet. Oh, I think I want to redraw. The throne room seems to be nice. Nothing here? Well, it's a king room. No items here? Really? We're paying 5 gems for this room? Just to open room 46, we have the antechamber not open, but yeah, it saves you a trip downstairs. It is a way to open room 46, but yeah, we don't know it. We also have the blue crown in the code check. We need to come here to reclaim the crown, which is another puzzle. That's puzzle number 4.5 then. We have to come here with the crown and then the deadly stone and the scepter. At the moment we only have the crown, which was the blue crown in room 46, which I took out and put in code check so that we don't always have to go to room 46. But we still need to find that scepter, and we still need to find the deadly stone or whatever it's called. Where are we opening? Room with many doors. Yeah, that's fine. Now we have connection. Let's do the silver key. Ah, there's the archives. That's what I was kind of hoping on. Okay, now we want here. The other room. What was the other room? The patio? Because we can get that in the edges, the green rooms. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, now we have this archive business. Need to make some decisions. We have the archives in our floor plans. We need to do whatever we can to look for the patio, which you can only drop on the wing. It could be this one, but I don't think so. I think the patio is a gem requirement. So I'm gonna reroll, which means we are not guaranteed the tomb outside anymore. But that's fine. We have the order. That's something we can do always the next day. Of course, doesn't want to give me the patio. Then we'll drop this one. Stupid dark room. No, we have to come from here then. This goes left. That's fine. That's actually fine. This box is empty. There are 2 empty boxes. That's definitely true. There are 2 true boxes. Okay, fine. This one is lying, and that means that there's not empty. yeah. Have we chosen a color today? We didn't yet, huh? We did not choose a color yet. Still, yeah, we could, if we can get veranda here, we can go straight, then we have another shot. That's the only thing though. We need to get veranda or patio. If we get patio here, we have both of the these keys for the archive here. That's my plan here, what I'm trying to figure out here. And we still have dinner as well, I think, right? We have chosen green rooms. We can only get green rooms in the wing, so except for cloister and courtyard, but we already have that. So we should have a chance. Yeah, we have to take this. We have to take this and hope that this is one of the green rooms. It could be, but it could be terrace, which is also a gem requirement. But so is patio. We have to take this. I don't know what it is. We have to take this. It's a greenhouse. Nah. Yeah. If you put water in the greenhouse, you have a lot of gem flowers. That's one of the reasons why you put water in the greenhouse. That's like 3 gems. We can't get out of here. Well, we can, but we can. Greenhouse, watering can. Okay, so we don't need to. So yeah, we can open this one, the one we have, but I was hoping on the patio, then we could open both of them. Oh, we also have the treasure map. Where was that again? Gymnasium, I think. No. Oh, in the code check actually. Okay. It's a complicated day. We built it all for strange rooms again. Zigzag there, and now which one is it? This one? Yeah. And where is the other one then? Okay, this one only seems to want to open this one. The red flags. Bittersweet, comfort. We the start operating on gem online. Okay. Royals in defeat. For shame and you cowardly in our must-trying order for Klangan in yours. In his first public address since the end of the war, the victorious leader of the Fen army, General Teskin, did not express much sympathy for his fallen enemy. So General Tesky is the leader of the Fen army. Back to our other puzzles. Well, not puzzles, the history sort of. We're trying to figure out that thing. So where was this? 5th era, 3rd era. When was this war thing happening? 5th era, right. So the new leader is General Teskin. It's a new name to the list of names. It's decrease the birth rate of the people they swore protect. They have fixed in foreign bands. This is not the kind of leadership we need. We need leaders who will stand with us in the team. We will not abandon. Okay. 18. What was this? 1886. Desilet's princess born in exile. Here we go. In the 4 decades since the end of the war, little news has reached or revealed regarding the former royals, whose life in exile has remained a quiet source of speculation and mystery. Prince Rolf, the grandson of Desalet IV, broke that silence on Tuesday when he announced the birth of his daughter, the Princess Caitlin Yeari. Who, in keeping with Erajan tradition, was endowed with her mother's surnames. Right. So, what year is this? 1924. This is our grandmother, I think, which we always figured that she was not. So she was adopted or something. Continued on page 6. Okay. Close supporters of the exiled family, of course, concerned, and this public announcement displayed a notable shift in conduct for the royals and sets the stage for the family to exit private life and return once again to the public sphere. A change that would be undoubtedly... Okay, but who the hell is the father here? Prince Rolf, the grandson broke that silence on Tuesday when he announced the birth of his daughter. Right. So, Prince Rolf with her mother's surnames. Yeari. Caitlin Yeari. So Caitlin Yeari is Clara Espen. Because there is also this Yeari character in the foyer. So that will be her mother. So her mother is in the foyer and she was married to Prince Rolf, and the daughter is Caitlin Yeari, and they were from Eraja, but she changed her name. So probably adopted by Lady Ashlyn and William Espen. (1924). Yeah, that would make sense. This is our grandmother. The one that was born here is our grandmother. And the her mother, something Yeari, and Prince Rolf are the ones which are missing on that family tree in the root cellar. You see the branch go to the right, but the pictures are missing. Now we know why. But how did she end up in the Espen and Sinclair family? I don't know. The Crown's recent decision to dismantle the realm remaining railways has caused increasing tensions with our southern neighbor Eraja, who has for many generations relied on our realm's rail tracks for northern passage to Arch Aries. The ensuing round of the trade negotiation with Eraja, which were conducted with reckless care and little diplomacy, have, to the surprise of no one, ended in an impasse. Early reports have alluded that in addition to their other demands, the Crown has requested that their asylum granted to the former Hans of Desilets be revoked. So they're kicking off Raja. So, and that's why Raja is no more railroad. Yeah, Raja was not a railroad. Raja was poetic, I think. Was a society, and I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Raja is poetic, and 3 lines was rain. So, right. So this gives you the solution for the weather, which we did not know. We had to gamble on what weather it was. So we changed the lines every time until we had turned out to be rain. Because we still had like normal weather left, single line. We had a dotted line, which was snow, and we had the 3 lines, which was rain. So we had to try all of them to make it work. So here is the solution, where this is the one that tells you that it's Raja is rain. We knew it was poetic. We knew it was the hourglass. We know the hourglass is violet, which is Raja. This is where it tells you that it actually was rain. We have solved it, but we had to gamble on the weather. And so it also tells you about what's going on with your grandmother, which we already figured out that there was something wrong with the name because there were people missing on that family tree. So we figured she was from Arajan origin, and then how she ended up in this family, we don't know. That might be in the other filing cabinet, but I don't think we have room anymore, right? No, we're dead. Okay, so we can't do that. So next time we need to get a shovel, then run green rooms till we have the patio, and then with a silver key or something try to get the archive so we can open the other filing cabinet. This is something that sort of showed up today by draining the aquarium. We got new clues and new puzzles apparently, which gives you a few explanations and solutions of things we actually already knew. Like the Eurasian sigil, we have solved it. We have solved it. We just gambled on the weather. But this book, as you can see, you can find everything in the house. You just need to find where it is. That's the problem. All the answers are somewhere in the house. But like this thing, you see that? Like you have to drain the aquarium, then dig up a filing cabinet, then get the archives to open the filing cabinet, and then you know that the weather in Raja is rain. I think most people will gamble. We had all the other information. The only thing we didn't know was the weather, so we just tried a few that we have left, which was normal weather, snow and rain. Turned out to be rain. That's how we solved that one. We sort of have something similar with the last one, that we know what it is. We know they do something with shipping, so naval things. But we also don't know what the weather is on Morajai. We know it's white is the color for the border. We know it's Morajai, and we know they do something with naval. So we know the number of lines, but we don't know which lines it are. We still have normal weather, but it could also be windy, because if they're sailing, then they need wind over there. Probably some other little piece of paper here or there will tell us the weather for Morajai. I think the morning room actually does, because in the morning room you have that half circle in white color, and it gives you sort of white rays and orange rays, sort of like suggesting that it's sunshine, normal weather. So I think it's normal weather, but which would be the straight lines, which makes sense. It's one of the options we still have left. We have 2 left because obviously in Orinda and in Fen Aris, which is the same area, the weather with both of those was foggy. So from the 8 different weather types, we have 2 or 3 left, because some of these are using the same weather type, which makes sense. Where we are now here in this mansion is Fen Aries, which is a red country, but it used to be black country, Orinda Aries. But obviously it's the same terrain, it's the same position on the geographical map, so obviously the weather type is the same. So, what did we do? Well, we solved that castle thing, but the problem with that is 109 add 6 makes it 115. So we probably have to go downstairs there to that thing and start at 109, press the button, add 6, 115, press the button, and then we have to do Torlor et, what the hell, whatever that means. We need to find an Arabian dictionary to know what that means. We know rotonda means rotating room or something. Do we have a rotunda in the house? We don't, but we can read that thing there. A fitting function for a room named rotunda, which means clockwise room in Arabian. Clockwise room. And that was rotonda. And here we need tor, so it could be that it's anti-clockwise. If rot is clockwise rotation, and tor is anti-clockwise rotation, then it could be the other way around, but then we still need to figure out what lor and et means from some sort of Arabian class or dictionary, or it's not in the library because we bought all the books. There is no Arabian dictionary, so we're gonna have to figure out what that is. Anyway, so yeah, we opened one of the filing cabinets. There is another filing cabinet key in the patio, apparently in front of the barbecue, according to what we saw in the aquarium over there when we drained it. So, where did we get this one? The laundry, right. So the one in the laundry we dug up. So the other one needs to be in the patio. And of course, that's the problem, is if you have to drive an archive, you can't see. Yeah. Two, we don't even have a dining room. Oh, we do. Question is, how do you get there though? Through the gift shop, I think. How did we build this house? Throne room. Library. Greenhouse is a dead end, so it's gotta be kennel. Oh, what's up, mate? Gift shop. Okay. Now, how do we get to the dining room? Cloister, I think. Bedroom, closed exhibit, dining room. What are we having? A stew. The stew needs a boiler room. Do we have a boiler room? Oh, we got a pump room. No. Okay, well, 20 steps then. The salmon is the aquarium that you need. Oh, it's a salty stew, I guess. Yeah, there is no point in going downstairs to that chessboard thing because we don't know what we need to do with that last bit. Even if it is like press button, we don't know what the last bit means. So that's something we're gonna have to figure out. We need to do a classroom day at one day. There are some missing pieces in some of these puzzles, and we know there are 8 classrooms and we only saw 1 so far, so it's gotta be a classroom thing, which gives us the rest of the answers. We know the patio. So yeah, let me make some notes here because we can gamble and go outside. We still don't have an outside room. We can see if we can get the tomb, but we have a boudoir which has rolling dice. We have a guy's bedroom which has rolling dice. So if we can get that in the house next time, then we have guaranteed a tomb. That's better than now going outside and gamble on that tomb. And if it doesn't show up in the 3 first rooms, we can't re-roll. We were re-rolling to get the patio. So for the next episode, that will be episode 23. We'll write it down. Patio. File key should be there. And then we have the castle thing, which we need school for. We're also still dealing with the library, reading books like crazy. And we still need a drafting studio. I think we need one more. Yeah, we added the solarium today. We have not drafted it yet. So we still need to add it the dormitory. And that will be our last room in the pool of plants, but then of course we still need to draft the solarium and the dormitory, and that should give us a trophy for the directionary. And then is the question, can we buy the blue tents? Yeah, and we're still missing a trunk, huh? We went to the security computer, through the laboratory, or to the office computer. And if we check the inventory, it says there was a trunk mission. We've checked every room. So I think that what that means is that there was a trunk in the security, but we didn't actually have that room, because we only went through it through a terminal connection. Let's see. So we got the full house, we got room 46, and we got invention, and we got trophy 8. So we got 4. We got 4. We need 8 trophies to be able to buy the blue tents. But I think... no, we can't do cursed trophy. We will unlock cursed mode if we read that cursed book, but that doesn't make us do the cursed mode yet. That's on another account. You have to do that. Day 1 trophy is not gonna happen. Trophy of speed, Dare Bird cursed day 1 trophy. Those 4 you need to do on another account, and then transfer the trophies with the grotto thing. So what can we do is buy out the entire showroom. That means we need like treasure trough, vault, casino in the house maybe. Because you buy out the trophies, you buy out the items, but then you still need to buy the trophy, which is another 100 extra. So you're looking at, depending on what is in the showroom, But if the most expensive items are in there, that could be like around 200 something coins plus 100 for the trophy. That's 300 and something that you need to be able to do that. But that would give us potentially a fifth one. We need to ace the classroom. Yeah, we haven't seen the 8th grades yet, let alone the classroom exam thing. And then we have complete all the trophies. If you have all the other trophies, then you get the last trophy in the trophy room. So yeah, from this right side, we can only do the showroom buyout. So that would make it 5. Unlock all 8 sigils. If we can find the vault key for the last sanctuary sanctum key, we can do that. We should have the solution for that last one. We might have to gamble on the weather, but that's fine. We will get it. So that will give us that trophy. So showroom, sigils. And then if we can get those last 2 rooms, that will give us the Mount Holly Dictionary. We're at 108 of 110. We need to drop the solarium, and we need to add and draft the dormitory. And then that is complete. And then we have the darts board. We're at 22 of 40, so we need 18 more darts boards. And 15 more parlor games. So yeah, that's where your trophies are going to have to come from. Directionary, darts boards, parlor games, the sigils, and then potentially buy out the showroom. Then we're already at 9, I think, or 10 even. We only need 4 of these that we can still do. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6. And of those 6, we need 4. Then we have 8, and then we can buy the blue tents. But the blue tents probably also not cheap. The latest thing we bought in that Holly gift shop was already 110. So this is probably also 2, 3, 400. But then we're gonna have to bring in the casino and gamble until we double our coins or something. So yeah, okay. But now we also need the angels as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep that for our next episode, obviously. Get the filing cabinet key from the patio. Do some school combination with trying to find whatever that castle thing means, so that we can solve that one. We sort of have solved the solution of that already in such a way that we know whatever will happen there, it's going to give us the black key, and we know where that black key goes. The black key goes in a coffer when you draft the treasure trove outside, which we can do with Blessing of the Monk. So then we need Shrine, Blessing of the Monk, then run a black day so that you get treasure trove. Just call it a day there, then start the next day and draft the treasure trove outside. But then we need to have the black key. But yeah, that's fine. We can do the castle that day and get the black key, and then open the trunk and see what's in it. We can only assume that will have something to do with the other black room, which is the throne room. In other words, it's going to give us either the scepter or the deadly stone or whatever it is. And then we need to figure out what's going on with the library, and then we need to add the dormitory as our last room. A lot of stuff to do in our next episode. And as you can see, things sometimes change. We had no plans about anything of the aquarium, but I got the pump room. I thought like, okay, let's drain the aquarium, let's drain the fountain and see what happens, because those were things we also did not do yet. And then that's how things go in this game. You drain the aquarium, you see a few X's and arrows, and you put some other puzzle together. And now we're suddenly reading things in the archive with filing cabinet keys. And we are at the same time doing the castle puzzle, the Ares Court puzzle with the black key, and then some other things we are working on, as in trying to figure out where to learn Eragon. We're definitely going to call it a day here with nothing more we can do. We also have the order of the angels now, the numeric order. Right. That's another one that can go on the list. Which is tomb. Angels. Okay. It's getting complicated. We have a couple of different puzzles running into each other now. Well, not side by side in a way. And then you find a little piece of information for one puzzle and a little piece for the other one, and suddenly you're working on 4 puzzles or 5 puzzles at the same time. That's the point we're at this moment. But that's fine. That keeps us busy. It's better than running around and not knowing what to go next for. We definitely know what's going on. We have 4 or 5 things where we need to find solutions for. And that will lead into another thing probably. Like, yeah, whatever we find from that black key is going to have to do with the other black room where we can reclaim the throne with that message from when we drew the antechamber outside, where we get like, go with the crown, or something like, go with the crown and the deadly stone and the scepter, and then you are ready for the throne. So that's when you can reclaim the throne. But we're not there yet, I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one, which will be apparently also an adventure one, because our list for that episode is already long. See you guys then. Bye bye.